Yeah, I want to share some thoughts here at the end. It's hard for me to believe, sitting here tonight, that we're where we are. I think back to 2003 or 4, I think it was 3, when former president of the Chamber of Commerce, Wes Graff, called me and asked me if I'd be willing to step onto the Education Alliance Committee. I had no clue back then, it wasn't my intent, had no clue looking back that that was setting me on a path to do this. And it's pretty incredible to look over the last 20 years and see what's transpired the last 12 and a half, being in this room in one of these seats at least every 2 weeks between Planning Commission and City Council. You know, people often say, for our city attorney say this many times, but he's far from the only one, I have no idea why you guys run for these positions. And I certainly understand why people say that. It is a significant time commitment for us in addition to our full-time day jobs. It's important to be prepared. It's important to research issues thoroughly. That takes time. You deal with a lot of complaints. You deal with a lot of criticisms. You deal with probably a lot of unfair criticisms. But it's also very rewarding. You get a chance to have a seat at the table for meaningful discussions. You get a chance to serve your hometown. I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish since I've been here. Also aware of some of my mistakes. But the thing that is the greatest joy for me in this is not where I expected to tear up, but the thing that is the greatest joy for me in this role, and I've said, those of you that know me well have heard me say this, is how it's expanded my neighborhood. I am so grateful for the relationships that I've been able to build across this community with random residents, one of whom spoke tonight, that I would have never known had I not been in this position. And that's a pretty cool thing. A lot of thanks to go around. Thinking back, I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget anybody. My fellow council members, in no particular order: Brian Meekin, Maureen Brosnan, Brandon Kritzman, Kathleen McIntyre, Kathy White, Jim Jolly, Laura Toy, Rob Donovic, Brandon McCullough, and Scott Morgan. All of them, I've had the privilege to serve with them. Other elected officials: Dennis Wright, Linda Shields, Susan Nash. Another one that was really, within the political world, a grandfatherly figure for me, Jack Kirksey. I owe him a lot for setting me on the path to do this in particular. Department heads, Jim thanked them. I'm not going to try to name them all because I'll forget somebody, but it's remarkable to me the consistency, not only of the people in the positions, but of excellent performance we have of the people that are running this city. I am going to specifically call out those who are here up with us every week: Paul, Todd, Mark, and though maybe not a department head, I'll include Sarah in that as well, for all the ways that you guys support us. And specifically, Mark, you're the one that's been with me on this entire journey in the city service, and all of you have just been so gracious in sharing your knowledge, answering questions, and putting up with my many questions. My family. So there's a picture that's impressed on my mind. It's from 2015, the inauguration, when we were, some of us were put here the first time. Livonia Observer actually captured this picture, and it was of my then 9-year-old son, and they just caught a picture of him looking out above the crowd, kind of taking things in. And I remember seeing that, and even though I was aware of it before that, I remember it hitting me. Excuse me. I remember it hitting me that my 4th grade son was going to be a senior in high school. If I served 2 terms, fortunate enough to do that, was going to be a senior in high school when I was done with this. And I remember it hitting me that night, the reality of the cost for my family of what I'd chosen to do, with their support. And I'm thankful to say I haven't been an absent dad. I'm very involved in my kid's life, but there's no question that the family pays a cost. And it's not just, frankly, the time we spend at these meetings is the small part of it. Any of my fellow council members, I think, can attest to it's the mental bandwidth that they deal with. It's dad not being entirely present at the dinner table because he's thinking about a vote he has to take that night, or it's dad being frustrated, or dad maybe not frustrated but charge it up about something that's important to him. It's dad taking phone calls in the evening when you're sitting in the car with one of your kids and a call comes in and you need to take it because it deals with council business. It's that stuff. And I owe them a huge debt of gratitude to be able to do this. And then finally, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, the citizens of Livonia. And I'm just going to repeat something that were in my notes from that 2015 inauguration. I'm just going to say exactly what I said that night. The success of this city is the result of engaged citizens who take personal responsibility in our community. Let's always remember, from Livonia to Lansing to Washington, that it's not government, it's self-government that ensures freedom and prosperity. And as long as you residents continue to take ownership in our whole town and hold all of us accountable to do the right thing, I'm, like Councilman McIntyre said earlier, I'm confident that we'll remain a strong families first city for generations to come. I said that was finally. I'm sorry, I do have one more. Ultimately, I just want to give thanks to my Lord. One of my favorite verses from the Bible is Colossians 3:23. Whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. And while I appreciate all the kind words that have been said about me, appreciate them deeply. And Councilman McIntyre, I right back at you. I'll just say that. The one who I most aim to please is my Lord, and I'm just hopeful that, and I trust that he's been pleased with my service. So it's been an honor and privilege. Thanks.